All right, so are you ready to level up your trading game a little bit? You sent over this stack of info on the FTMO challenge, and honestly, the more I look at this stuff, the more interesting it gets. It's like not just learning to trade, it's like they have this whole system to test you out before you risk any real money.
Yeah, it really is a unique model. I mean, most of the time trading education is all about theory, but this FTMO thing actually puts you right into the action. It's a simulation, but it feels really close to the real deal.
That's what I'm seeing, yeah. It's like they've turned becoming a trader into a video game, almost. So before we get too deep into the weeds of the challenge itself, can you just help me understand, like, the big picture? What is it about FTMO that makes it different from just opening a demo account with a regular broker?
Well, with a demo account, you can practice. Yeah, but with FTMO, you actually have some skin in the game. You're not risking your own money yet, but you do pay a fee to take the challenge. And I think that adds a whole other level of seriousness to it. You don't get that with most demo accounts.
Okay, I'm starting to get why people are so drawn to this. There's like a real incentive to prove yourself. But what about the legal stuff? You know, all that fine print we're supposed to read, but usually just skim over. What's the deal with these general terms and conditions, or GTCs?
Basically, the GTCs are the rule book. They lay out all the terms between you and FTMO Evaluation Global, which is the company behind the challenge. They're based in Prague, by the way, so there's that whole international element right from the start. And of course, you've got to be 18 or older to participate. And there's a list of restricted countries on their website.
Gotcha. So before you get too excited, make sure you're actually eligible to play, right? But what exactly is the game here? Break down this whole FTMO challenge thing for me, like I've never even heard of Forex before.
Okay, so imagine a video game, right, with levels. You start with this free trial just to get a feel for things. Then you've got the paid FTMO challenge where things get a little more serious. And if you can make it through that, there's another level, the verification stage, where you have to prove you can keep winning.
Okay, I like the video game analogy. Each level has its own challenges and rules, but you're using virtual money the whole time.
Right.
That's pretty smart. You can learn without risking blowing up your real account.
Exactly. And here's another interesting thing. The fees they charge are based on how much initial capital you choose for your simulated account.
Hold on. So even though it's fake money, the size of your virtual account affects how much you pay to take the challenge. That's a pretty clever way to reflect what really happens, where bigger accounts can mean bigger profits, but also bigger risks.
Exactly. And because you are putting up some money even for a simulation, it changes how you approach everything. It makes you take it a lot more seriously.
Right. It's not monopoly money anymore. Okay, you've got me hooked. Now, walk me through the actual rules of this challenge. What are the goals? The limits? What are the things that make you either a trading champion or a big loser?
Okay, well, first off, FTMO wants to see that you can be consistent. You have to trade on at least 4 separate days on the calendar. They're not interested in those one-hit wonders.
So no going all in on one crazy trade and hoping for the best. You've got to show you can make smart decisions over a longer period of time. What else?
Risk management is key. There are daily loss limits and an overall loss limit, and both of those are calculated as percentages of the capital you chose at the beginning. It's all about staying disciplined.
Yeah.
Protecting your virtual capital.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even in a simulation, they want to see that you can handle the market going up and down without going broke.
Exactly. And of course, you can't just break even. To pass the challenge, you've got to make a profit. Now, how much profit you need depends on which challenge type you choose. Normal, aggressive, or swing.
So they have different versions of the challenge to fit different trading styles. I'm guessing the aggressive one has higher profit goals, but also higher risk limits.
Exactly. It's for those who like to swing for the fences. The swing challenge, on the other hand, that's for people who prefer taking a longer-term approach, looking for trends in the market and riding those.
So it's like a choose-your-own-adventure, but for trading. But hold on. Before we get into all the different types, let's take a step back for a second. What do you think all these rules are really testing? What skills do you absolutely have to succeed in this simulated trading world?
It's more than just knowing how to buy and sell. The FTMO challenge is about seeing if you can manage risk, stay disciplined, and stick to a strategy even when the market gets crazy. Those are skills that you need in any field, not just trading.
That's a great point. I never thought of it that way. It's like boot camp for making decisions under pressure. Okay, I'm even more interested now. So let's say you figured out how to be a virtual trading master. You haven't broken any of the loss limits, and you've hit all the profit targets. Now what? What is this mysterious verification stage all about?
So the verification stage, that's like the final boss battle in our video game. Basically, you have to do the challenge again, but this time the rules are even stricter, and the profit targets are higher. It's FTMO, making sure you didn't just get lucky the first time.
Okay, so it's about proving that you can do it again even when the pressure's on. But what happens if you beat that too? Do you get like a virtual trophy? Or is there something more to it?
That's where things get really interesting, and that's exactly what we'll be talking about in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, so you've really got me hanging here.
Hmm.
We've talked about how this FTMO challenge is structured like a video game with different levels and how it tests you not only on your trading skills, but also your risk management and all that. But the big question is what happens if you actually win the whole thing?
Well, passing the FTMO challenge doesn't automatically turn you into, a millionaire trader or anything, but it does give you a chance to move on to something really interesting. Their trader program.
So it's like you've graduated from some kind of trading academy, but you still need to go through like a job interview before they actually hire you.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. FTMO is basically giving you this pre-screening. They've shown that you've got the potential to make it in the real world of trading. But the final decision about whether to actually bring you on board is up to the people who run this trader program.
Okay, so tell me more about this trader program. What's it like? Do they just hand you a briefcase full of cash and tell you to go make us some money?
No, not quite. It's a lot more structured than that. And they give you a lot of support. FTMO knows that trading is really complicated, and even if you're a skilled trader, you still need the right tools and the right guidance to be successful.
Okay, so what kind of support are we talking about here?
Imagine like joining a special forces team or something. You get access to these really advanced trading platforms, live market data feeds, and all kinds of analytical tools that would make any trader drool.
Wow, so they're giving you the keys to a super-powered trading machine. But what about the human side of it all? Do they just like throw you into the deep end and expect you to figure it out on your own?
Not at all. You get mentoring from experienced traders, people who have actually been there and done that. And they coach you to help you improve your strategies and how you manage risk. And maybe even more importantly, they help you stay calm and focused when things get emotionally crazy, which, happens a lot with trading.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. It's like having a guide to take you through the Himalayas of the market.
Yeah, exactly. And they also want you to feel like you're part of a team, like you're not just trading alone. So there's this whole network of other traders in the program, and you can share knowledge and strategies and just, support each other when things get tough.
I can see how that would be so important, especially in a field where it's easy to feel isolated. It's good to have other people to celebrate with when you win and to commiserate with when you lose.
Absolutely. And speaking of winning, we should probably talk about money. FTMO has a really unique profit-sharing model that gives them an incentive to help their traders succeed.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Break it down for me. How does this profit-sharing thing work?
So the way it usually works is FTMO will take a cut of the profits that their traders make, but they share a big chunk of it with the trader. We're talking like 80%.
80%. That's amazing. It's like they're saying, we believe in you so much that we're willing to split the rewards with you.
Right. It's a win-win situation. The more successful their traders are, the more money FTMO makes too.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But let's be real for a second. Trading is always going to be risky. Even if you have all the support in the world, there's always a chance you're going to lose money. What happens if a trader has a bad streak and starts losing?
Well, FTMO gets that trading has its ups and downs. They don't expect their traders to, win every trade.
Yeah.
But they do have certain risk management rules and performance targets.
So there's still accountability.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They want to see that their traders are, managing risk in a smart way and following the strategies they've been taught. If a trader's constantly underperforming or just not following the rules, they could be kicked out of the program.
That's fair. I mean, FTMO is putting their own capital at risk, so they need to make sure their traders are taking it seriously. But what about the psychological side of things? Even for professionals, trading can be so stressful. How does FTMO help their traders handle all the emotional ups and downs?
That's a really important point, and it's something FTMO takes really seriously. Remember all that mentoring and coaching we talked about? That's not just about, the technical stuff. It's also about helping you develop mental toughness. So they teach their traders how to control their emotions and stay focused under pressure and not make, impulsive decisions.
It's almost like training for the Olympics, but for your mind instead of your body.
Yeah, you could say that. Trading is just as much a mental game as it is a skills-based game. You have to learn how to control your fear and greed and all that. if you want to be successful over the long term.
So it's not enough to have a good strategy. You have to have the mental discipline to actually follow through on it, even when things are going crazy in the market.
Yeah. Exactly. And that can take people years to learn on their own. So the goal of the FTMO Trader Program is to help you learn that stuff faster by giving you the right kind of support right from the beginning.
Wow, this trader program sounds more and more like a master class, not just in trading, but also in self-mastery. It's amazing how those two things go hand in hand.
They really do. And that's one of the things that makes FTMO so unique. They found a way to combine the personal development stuff with the skills you need to actually have a successful career as a trader.
So well said. That's a perfect transition to talking about the different types of challenges FTMO offers, because they've really designed them to fit different trading styles and different levels of risk that people are comfortable with. Let's start with their most popular option, the normal challenge. What can you tell me about that? All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. It's clear that the FTMO challenge isn't just some basic trading simulator. It's more like a proving ground, a way for them to see who's got what it takes to join their funded trader program. And it sounds like that program is pretty amazing. It's not just about giving money to talented traders. They also provide all this support and coaching and even a whole community. But I'm still a little confused about the challenge itself. You talked about different types: normal, aggressive, swing. Can you break those down for me? What makes each one different?
Yeah, you're right. They don't just have one standard challenge. FTMO realizes that different traders have different styles, right, and different levels of risk they're comfortable with. So the normal challenge, think of that as like the middle path. It's for traders who want to grow their account steadily without taking on too much risk.
So it's for those who believe in slow and steady wins the race, which is probably a good approach in trading, right? Things can change so quickly.
For sure. And the rules of the normal challenge reflect that. The loss limits they set, both daily and overall, are a bit tighter. It's a good fit for someone who wants to avoid big losses.
Makes sense. They're basically saying, show us you can handle the pressure, make smart decisions, and not lose all your money even when things get crazy. So what about the people who love taking risks? The ones who are always going for the big win, even if it means they might lose big too. Is there a challenge for them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the aggressive challenge is for. Like the name says, it's for traders who are, willing to push the limits. They want to hit those home runs, even if it means striking out sometimes.
Okay, so higher risk, higher potential reward. But I guess that also means there's less room for error, right?
Definitely. The loss limits are wider in the aggressive challenge, which gives you more flexibility, but the profit targets are also a lot higher. You need to have a certain kind of personality to handle that pressure.
Yeah, it's like the difference between a marathon runner and someone who does the 100-meter dash. Both take incredible skill and training, but they're totally different approaches.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned this third type, the swing challenge. What's different about that one?
Swing traders are more like patient observers of the market. They're not trying to jump in and out of trades all the time. They look for these big long-term trends that can last for days, weeks, even months.
So it's less about reacting to every little thing that happens and more about understanding the big picture.
Exactly. And the rules for the swing challenge are more flexible. They have more time to hit their targets, and they can hold trades open for longer.
That's pretty interesting. It seems like you would need a different mindset for that. More patience, more strategy, and less, emotional reacting.
Yeah, you got it. And that's what's so cool about the FTMO challenge. They give you different options. So you can choose the one that matches your trading style and, your personality.
Okay, I'm really starting to understand how this whole thing works now. FTMO isn't just looking for any skilled trader. They want traders who are a good fit for their program. People who have the skills, but also the right temperament, the right risk tolerance.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding the perfect match, for both the trader and for FTMO.
So let's say someone is listening to this right now and they're thinking, hey, this FTMO challenge sounds like something I want to try. What should they do? Where do they go to find out more and maybe even sign up?
Well, the best place to start is the FTMO website. It has tons of information about the different challenges, the account types, the rules, everything. And they have a really great support team, too, who can answer any questions you have.
Awesome. Sounds like a good place to start. Before we wrap up this deep dive, though, I want to come back to something you said earlier about the skills that this challenge helps you develop. The risk management, the discipline, the emotional control. These are valuable in any area of life, not just trading, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things I find most interesting about FTMO. They're not just trying to create traders. They're trying to create people who are, well-rounded, people who can make good decisions under pressure, manage their emotions, and Stick to a plan even when things get tough.
I've been thinking about that a lot as we've been talking. I'm not a trader myself, but I can definitely see how those skills would be useful in my own life. It's almost like a personal development course disguised as a trading challenge.
I like that.
Yeah.
In the end, that's what makes FTMO stand out. They've managed to make learning these essential life skills fun and engaging while also giving people a chance to, potentially have a really successful career in trading.
Well said. So, whether you're already a trader or you're just curious about the world of finance and want to see what you're made of, the FTMO challenge is definitely something to check out. It's a chance to improve your skills, learn new things, and maybe even open up some amazing new possibilities for your life.
Absolutely. And never forget those skills you learn along the way, the discipline, the risk management, the emotional intelligence. Those are things that will help you no matter what you decide to do in life.
So true. All right, everyone, that's all for today's deep dive. Keep those minds sharp, make smart choices, and always keep exploring. Until next time.